Let's make another thumbnail and learn some new techniques. Today we're going to make a thumbnail for the channel CORTES DA LOUD, which features clips from live streams created by streamers from Loud. From what I gather, it actually only features clips of this guy here, known as Coringa. I'm not too familiar with this universe and all that, but practically all the thumbnails feature this same person. And it's not a very difficult thumbnail to make. There are some techniques here, some quite simple, but there are advanced techniques too, and we'll be using them in this thumbnail today. It's a simple thumbnail. There's a character, some text on the screen, and the main topic, This thumbnail is going to be really cool to make, so go ahead and open your Photoshop and let's follow along with this tutorial. Well, for this tutorial, we won't need much. I have the Loud thumbnail here. I have a photo of our character who is Coringa, and we have the characters we'll use to reference TikTok as well as the emote we'll be using. Very simple, no big secrets. Photoshop is open. I'll create my thumbnail, a 1920 by 1080 file. Everything set. And here we have our blank file. Very simple, very easy. I'm going to grab our reference image from the folder and drop it in here. I like to work with this image already in my file, so we can take a better look. Now, if I want to zoom in or if I want to pick a reference color, I can just use the eyedropper tool to grab a color from their thumbnail, right? So it's easier for us to work. And then I'll start adding the elements to this thumbnail. The first thing I like to do, as I've told you in previous videos, is the background. I found this image of him here. I'm going to use it only for the background. I won't be using this exact image for the character. And since we'll be using the background in a blurred way, I don't need to worry too much, okay? Only if it leaks in a way that interferes with your thumbnail design, but if it doesn't, no problem. We can use it just as it is. So I'm going to resize it here. What am I doing? Wait a sec. Okay, I took this image here. And since I'm going to use it as a background, I don't need mess with it too much. I only really want a part of this image. I'll place it about here. See? Since it will be blurred, we don't need to worry too much. And I'll go ahead and add the blur to it right here. Gaussian blur, I'll set it to 10. So it gets a little more blurred. I'm going to darken this image. This image here is a smart object, so all filters will be applied here. I can remove them later if I want to. So I'll go to exposure and adjust it. I'll set this exposure here as a clipping mask and do this, see? I'll decrease this exposure because I want to make it, besides blurred, a little darker so we can highlight the objects that will be in front. In my reference image, we have our character here on the left, Iplit. On the right side, we have the two characters from TikTok. And then we have the emojis here. It's pretty straightforward. So what I need now is my character here on the left. I took this image here. It's also a smart object. It's important so we don't lose quality. I'll fit it more or less here so we can get an idea of how this composition will look. And now I need to remove my character from this background, because this background will get in our way as we want to use the background that's in the image below. So there are several ways to cut it out. You can use artificial intelligence, Photoshop itself. If I click here, I'll duplicate it. I'll make a duplicate here. It has its own artificial intelligence. Mine doesn't have it because my version is older, but it also has the remove background feature here. It's not always 100%, but you can give it a try. See, it already looks somewhat okay. Not too bad. Not. Since it placed it in a mask, everything that is in black disappears and everything in white appears. So I can come here, see? With my white brush. And paint what I want to appear which is missing here, right? Oh, I want his chair. I come here and paint his chair. Oh no, I don't want his chair. So, him here in the image. So I come here with black, look. That's right. Here with black, and I'll erase it. If I find it difficult to do this with a brush, I can also come here with the pen tool. And then I'll remove it with the pen tool. I zoom in a little more. I click where I want. I make another one here. I'm going to outline it. I click here, hold Control, make this little curve, and make this cut a little more precise with the pen tool here. It doesn't need to be 100% because we're still going to use some other techniques here, but just so we don't waste time, right? I'm going to remove this point here. I'll create a little curve here. It looks better that way. Actually, I'll make a curve here too. Go back here. Pull over here, look. And then I click, come with control here, click here, come with control here. And we can make these curves with greater precision. Since it's something I'm going to use some effects on, and I'll edit it later, I don't need to worry so much. And then, look. I click here, right click, create selection. Everything I want to hide, I paint black. Look. So I come here, Control Delete, the black is there as the secondary color. I make everything I want to disappear go away. It still has some cutout issues, it's not that precise. Yeah. I can come here with a white brush, shrink it and paint here. Actually, look, this isn't even his headset anymore, so I'll hide this part. It's great for a thumbnail here. It's fine. There's no big secret to this part of cutting the image here. Look. Since it's a darker area, we can't get enough contrast to make a good cut because I don't know exactly what's behind there. You can even see that his body is actually right here. Look. Since I want to hide him there, we are here. Look. The headset is coming this way. And this part here, look, is part of his body. Look. You can see it, but it won't make that much of a difference. Maybe it makes a bit more now that we're revealing that light point back there. And for what we're going to do with the more advanced effects here, it's actually interesting to have that cutout background there. All right, we've done the cutout, no secret. I'll convert it to a smart object here. And I always like to treat our character's skin. Today, I'll teach you how to treat our character's skin, which is a really cool way that will help you get images with a little more impact. We'll duplicate it here. And here I'll do the following. I'll go to Filter, Gaussian, Blur. Here I can set the blur to about 5, more or less. And we'll have this blurred photo here. What will I do? I'll create a mask here. Paint this mask black so we can make what we want disappear, right? And now I'll start revealing here with white. And then I'll take a soft round brush. Lower its opacity to about 30. And the flow can be around 20. And then in the areas where I feel their skin isn't looking so great, even though the image is at a very low resolution here, right? We'll paint with white because we're gonna blur those areas. So I come here, look. Do you see it getting a little bit smoother? Look, you can't exactly see the difference at first, but you come along painting with white. Where you want to hide things, it's important that you do it this way and don't make everything smooth, just a few spots. Or if you do, leave it with a lower opacity so the image doesn't look too artificial. In fact, this is a technique used a lot in those player graphics that we see. And you say, wow, the skin looks different, right? What effect was used there? is basically blurring some areas that you think have too much noise or that suddenly have some skin imperfection on the character. And so you can use this technique here. It's important to do it this way so you don't affect the whole image, so it doesn't look too artificial. And we'll still use other techniques on top of this, so it looks cool like this. You won't see much of a difference here because his face is very bright and also the resolution isn't that great. But look, you can hide this mole a bit. We can smooth out this skin a little more here. If you think it's too light, I'll increase the opacity of my brush. You come here just to give this skin a slightly smoother effect. And then we'll have skin that's a bit more treated for us to work on this art, okay? But you don't need to do something so incredible or spectacular, especially because YouTube will shrink this thumbnail and many details will be lost. Look, we barely noticed the difference here. It's very subtle. There will be images where you'll do this treatment and it'll look better, and other images where it'll be a bit worse. What am I going to do? I'll click on both of them while holding Control and convert both into a smart object. Simple. Going back here, I'll hit Ctrl+Z to show you guys. Here we have our first image. Here we have our second image, right? Now with the blur there, I click here, select both with Control. Did the convert to smart object. Now we have them combined. So it turned into a single image. Now I'm going to start working with that shadow system I used in the previous video. So I'll create an exposure adjustment here. This one will be to darken, set to 340, okay? Black background. I'll add a clipping mask for my bottom layer and come here, painting with white everything I want to reveal. And here, since we are using the darken effect, I want to increase these shadows. So I'll lower my flow a little bit, lower my opacity to about 20, and I'll paint these shadows, everything I want to darken. Face contour is important. These edges here, if you want to make it look a bit more dramatic, you can paint those too. Even on the cap, where you see there's a shadow, you paint this shadow this way to bring in a bit more dramatic effect. When we talk about drama, it's about having more detail, right? Look at the difference it makes. It has more detail and it manages to convey more expression, because sometimes the image comes out flat, the colors are blown out, the brightness is blown out, the colors are super saturated, and you end up not being able to see all the information that the thumbnail is trying to convey, because often one element wants to show you something, another element wants to show you something else, but since everything is blown out, they end up showing nothing at all. So we'll create another one here. Exposure. Now we're going to increase the brightness here. Something like 2 in a little bit. I'll create a clipping mask here. And now I'll paint what I want to highlight with light. So I come here, use my brush, and start adding more light to our character. Soon that burned effect will come in, which is the Mr. Beast style, the one from Mr. Beast thumbnails. And you'll see that it will make a huge difference in our thumbnail. It's already looking cool, isn't it? Check the difference. His face is already a bit more highlighted, showing more of what we want, which is our character's expression. Our character is not an expressionless character. He has expression. His face has this expression right here. We want to show that in a thumbnail. So for that, we're going to enhance it. Now the burn effect, I create a new layer. I come here with the paint bucket. I look for gray. The gray is here. Look, that L51. That's perfect. And I drop it here. Since I need to merge it downward, right? Create a clipping mask here to the bottom. It will clip to our character. That to overlay, and now I will work the tones here. Ooh. First thing, I click on this tool, go to burn tool, and here I need to paint the dark areas. I'll set it to 15. I go to the dark areas here. Brushing to give this burn effect. Look how it already changes our story here in the thumbnail, right? It's exactly what Mr. Beast puts in his thumbnails, the guys who copy, who do something similar, and who show a lot of his feeling in that moment there in the thumbnail, right? Of course, that whole thing is image manipulation. He didn't actually strike that pose. There are several elements fitted in there, but you are building a thumbnail. You are telling a story. When you are telling a story, you have to use everything you can. Then I come here, grab a dodge tool, and I will paint the light areas. If you see that you're overdoing it, you can decrease the exposure here, or you can paint it all and then change the layer opacity here, okay? It goes however you like to do it, whichever way you think is best. Remembering that there are several ways to reach the same goal in Photoshop. The cool thing is this, you have several tools and you can do several things, including doing the same thing with several different tools, which is also really cool. Because then you can, suddenly if you know one way to do it, you do it that way. If you see something someone did, maybe the person did it in a different way, but you know how to use a tool and reach the same goal as that person. So here, look, just with these filters, these layers we added, look how it changed our character, the shadow, the light, and the burn effect. Look how he already looks different. If I want to work on this image below in the camera raw filter, I can. So I come here. Since it's a smart object, this filter won't be applied to the image directly. I can adjust the texture. If I want to give a bit more texture to the image, I'll set it to 50 here. Clarity, it will look very strange, so I won't touch the clarity. I'll adjust the detail here. I can increase the sharpness, which will add more noise. I don't want that. I want to reduce the noise. So I come here to noise reduction, see? The more I increase it, the smoother our character's skin will get. Look here. It already looks like a drawing, right? Look how cool it is. Along with the effects we added, it turned out really nice. I can duplicate it too if I want. And here I need to set it again, right? Because our clipping mask came loose here. And here, I'm going to work with volume. Go to Other, Filter Other High Pass. Here I'll set a slightly lower volume of 20. Overlay. Look at the difference this already makes. I'll duplicate it again. And then I need to bring the effects back again. Go here to Other, High Pass 3, so we can work on the finer lines. And then I bring it back here with the clipping mask, so we don't lose that. So it isn't applied to the whole image. So look at how it changes as we activate everything we did, right? Right. Camera raw filter. With the volume here. If I think this volume is too high, I can lower the fill here. I'll set a fill here at 52. Leave this other one here. That's great. See this one on top? I'll even lower a little bit. Is that okay? Here. Because we don't want to make this image too heavy. I mean heavy not in size, but having too many elements on screen that draw attention. Got it? We already have our character here. Well, now we need to put our characters here. They are two TikTok characters. He just cut the image there, added this green border and all that. What am I going to do? I'm going to create a new file. Just to be able to crop our characters. Take it here, see? I have this image from that TikTok dating show that has Felka and... what's her name? Brittany. Man, I forgot her name. And then I'll crop it here. How can I do it? I can take here, see, the rectangle tool, and select. Once I select this, I want to make a slightly smaller rectangle. I come over here, look. I think her name is Brit, and I press Ctrl-C. And then I can come here to my work, paste her here. And with that same selection, I press Ctrl-V. A layer will pop up here, which is this Felka layer. I'll take this layer and simply place it over this one here so we don't waste much time. Right? I'll click on it with the magic wand around her. Here. With the magic wand, I go to select. I'll invert it. I'll remove this top layer and press Ctrl-C on the one below. Now we have our second character here. And I can already. Wait, I did? I did this wrong here. I almost dragged it wrong here. I can already work with these two characters. I'm fixing it here. Done. So I can already work with these two characters here more easily. What he basically did here was rotate it this way, right? You have her facing this way and the same thing happening with the other one, rotating that way. Both are a little too big here. So I'll do the following. I'll transform them. I'll shrink them down so they fit better here. I can shrink them a little bit more right here like this. Right? And look, it's not even a secret. I double click here on the layer. I come here to stroke. I'll pick a green stroke here. If I want, I can copy his color because I have the reference there. You can leave this stroke the way it is. For the other one here, I also go to stroke. It's on a stroke of 8. Is that okay? We have both of them with a stroke here. They are a little further apart in their image, but that's because he made her a bit thinner. You can do it too. No problem. What we need to do here now, look, he wrote for you TikTok here, added emojis. No secret there either. We'll use the top layer. Come here to the text tool. I'll create a new layer. And come here, look, for you. I'll just type for you. He used a font that is a bit wider. Here we have a font that can be very useful, which is Gotham Black. And then you go looking for fonts that are similar, right? Here I will set its color to white. It really is white here, right? So we're gonna put this. Guys, what am I doing here? There's this crazy stuff here. We'll leave it white. But what happens, this text isn't straight. You can see here it's arcing. And to do that is very simple. Text tool here with our text nicely selected. There's this T up here, look. And we're gonna make this arc. Then you'll change this curvature to a 7. That's great. I'll come over here. I'm gonna do a rotation on it. So it fits a bit better here. And now we need to add this TikTok, right? This font is a bit too wide, isn't it? Ooh, see how it has a certain size? I'll come here and adjust it a bit. I'll shrink it down here. 70, 75. That's perfect. Later I'll do a bigger rotation here. And then I'll write TikTok here too. Tick, Simple, no secrets. Let me just not lose any info here, right? Because with TikTok, the T got too close to the I, so we'll do it here. We'll write TikTok. I'll resize it. Wait, I don't even need to do that anymore. The tool is already right here, look. I'll place it more or less diagonally. The TikTok here also has a certain curve, so I'll apply that curve. With my text selected, I click here, go to arc again, decrease it. I'll set it to that same 7, right? Plus 7. I click OK. So we have a For You look very similar to his, except his has a bit of color. So let's add that color. This first one on top is just white. So what can we do? We can click here, actually, on the For You text. We'll add that outline, right? We don't need to change the color. We'll add the outline. For his outline, he uses a drop shadow, shadow. You can see here, look. It has a slightly wider outline, but it's not just the drop shadow. He also uses a black stroke along with the drop shadow to get this effect, and actually he's shifting the angle a bit to the left. This is great for us. It won't make that much of a difference, but if you want to work on it, just go to this drop shadow and adjust the parameters, increasing or decreasing them. I'm gonna leave mine with this setting, okay? I'll do the same thing with TikTok. Since it's already set up, I'll just click here, look, and it will look like this as. We're gonna change the TikTok color. And you have two options. Either you go to color overlay and choose the color you want, and then paint the reflections there, if you'd like. Or you can come here, look, gradient overlay, and then you click here again. Click here on the gradient, and it will open a window with several gradients for you to use. I'll move this around and pick a green. You don't need to make this exactly the way it is there, unless it's the company's brand identity, right? So if you're working with Loud's identity, you need to use Loud's colors, okay? But here I'll just put a color that I think matches, right? Nothing too dark. Let's put something a bit lighter. Yeah, I think I'll make my own gradient. If I want to make my own gradient, I come here, look, click here. Pull a green over here, click over here. Pull another green over here. And now you have a little gradient going on. It's all good. We've already written For You. It's already very similar to his. His actually looks like it's at a slightly different angle than ours. But it's very similar. It also seems like he added his own. There apparently is an inner glow on the TikTok. You can come here, look, set it to white. It looks cool too, okay? It can be on normal. Then you have to adjust these settings. You can come here, look, linear overlay, indirect. Indirect also looks pretty cool. Because then you can see, there's a small detail there, look. That also makes a certain difference, okay? But it doesn't mean you have to do this on your thumbnail. And here he added the emojis. Let's add the emojis right away. He used the same emojis. So he positioned two emojis. But they are the same. They aren't different. Look, we'll position our emoji here. Click here. Give it a little rotation. This is okay, right? Resize the image, move it around. There's no real secret to it. Place it right here, see? I'm going to duplicate it. Right click on it, duplicate. And I'll bring the second emoji. I'll place it right up here. I can also put it here, see? Mine is a little bit out of proportion, right? Actually, it's not that out of proportion. What he did here on this other emoji, and we're gonna pull it behind the 40 text, right? His emoji is a bit further over because my character is more to this side, right? Let's move our character over there. I'll select everything from my character, hold shift right, click on the first, hold shift, click on the last, and drag my character a bit more this way so we have more room to work on this art. And then I'll reposition whatever. I need to reposition here, look. I select my two characters, reposition them. It will even be better framed. Actually, no. We'll adjust that in a second. I want to bring my character a little bit more this way. I'm a bit picky about these things. Here, look. I think this framing is good now. And then I'll reposition this little emoji here. Look. I want it sticking out a little bit over here. And he put it in. Just do a little rotation. He put it on this emoji here. Quite simple. I came here to filter. Filter. Blur. You can do either Gaussian or motion blur. I'll use the Gaussian one here. 5 should be just fine. That's perfect. Here he used motion blur, look. So if I want to adjust this blur, I come here. Smart filters. Click here. So I'll undo this blur here. I go to filter, blur, and motion blur. Then I can adjust this distance here. Look. Let's put it to 1. It looks like it's moving there, right? So very passionate. Nice. Now, what can we do here? The background here is a bit lighter. In the original image, it's a bit darker, but here, it would be a new thumbnail. So if you think it looks good like this, no need to change it. Okay? You just need to enlarge our characters more, perhaps, so they stand out a bit more. And that's great, no need to touch that background. So now we're gonna create the light behind our character because we want to bring out this highlight, this glow, this illumination. I'm gonna make this light green. So I'll create a new layer here. I'll go after the green I want, right? And I'll increase my brush size here. I can leave it at 87, I can leave it at 100. This brush isn't hard, so it will be the soft round one. And I'll give it a click here, look. I'll take this whole area and give it a click. Right? Now I'll shrink this brush. Come over to the green. Drag it a bit more this way so it gets a little lighter. And I'll give another click here on our character. Make the brush even smaller. Pull it a bit more toward white. It can even be pure white this time. And I'll increase it just a little bit here. I'll give it a click. I might do 2, maybe 3. So here we have this light behind our character. And now we're going to do that incredible, wonderful stroke that we do with the drawing tablet. But if you don't have a drawing tablet, you'll have to do this stroke by hand with the mouse. Here I'm going to teach a slightly different technique, one I used a long time ago that I thought was cool. Later on I started using other techniques. I'll make this outline here. Since we aren't using a drawing tablet, and some of you probably don't have one, no problem. We're going to do this with the mouse itself. I'll create a new layer. Come here to my brush. I'll use this soft round brush. I'll use it here in normal blending mode at 70. So I'll click here on this little swirl here. I'll increase it a little. I'll set it to to my brush size here at 15, maybe 20. And here I'll do it like this, look. I'll give one, give another, pull another one, pull another here. That looks exaggerated, right? Pull another, I'll pull another. But you might say, wow, this looks horrible. For heaven's sake, we just go to the eraser here. And eraser, we'll shrink it well. Zoom in here. It can be at an opacity of 60, a flow of 60 as well. And then you'll do the following. You will simulate the pen. It won't be perfect. You have to be aware that this won't be perfect. I think it needs a bit of smoothing here because it's a bit rough since I'm using a mouse. Click on smoothing, guys, so these curves look better, okay? It won't be as perfect as using a pen would be. However, if you don't have a drawing tablet, you aren't going to buy one just to make this thumbnail, right? So start without the tablet and find a way to do this outline so you don't have to abandon the project just because you don't know how to trace it. And in the end, these outlines aren't even that noticeable because people just glance at it and see the glow. It's mostly us creators who want to make something look nice, right? Of course, a client will ask for an outline and you want to deliver a perfect one to them, which is what they deserve. But the people watching the video won't all care if your outline is perfect or not. Of course, I won't make something poor quality or weird for a client because we are professionals and we want to do a good job. So here we've made, look, our outline more or less. Of course, I can come here and outline the things that need to be outlined, right? And it went like this, look. I come here and outline the things that need to be outlined. And I can even improve this, look, by doing the following. Come here to smudge, this smudge tool, and drag it to simulate. Look, that I'm doing that drag effect with a pen, right? Is it perfect? It's not perfect, but we are still going to improve this. So I'm going to make this outline really simple with no secrets at all. If you didn't know this technique, leave a comment below. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. So I'm going to use this technique here, look. Take it easy. Sometimes you'll get it right the first time. Sometimes you'll mess up. Wow, this one looks terrible, right? But the important thing is that you do it. I'm going to increase the smoothing here because my hand is really shaky. There are people with such steady hands who can do this with a mouse that you just say, man, you're good, you know? Because I really can't do it. Here on his face, we'll do it too, look. All right. What do we do, right? Wow, this looks really weird. Yeah, it looks very strange. That's why there are some techniques we use, right? So I come here, look, with the eraser, Let's thin out these edges. Just so it doesn't look too weird. But over here, look, it's not a problem. These seams will be left here. Look. You go over one with the other, but we'll fix that in a little bit. And just narrow it a little bit more here. Like this. Wherever you think it's too rough, you can come and touch it up. Redo, do, redo. And then I come here, look. Look how cool it looks when you apply this smudge, right? It even looks like it was the pen itself that went through here, right? No, this strength is too high, about 26. That's good. Click, drag. It comes smudging for you. It will stretch that out until it disappears. It really looks like it was done by hand. I'll go over it here. Perfect. Wonderful. I'll double click here. Now come here to outer glow. I'll add a little green glow to it. Just so we have a little highlight here too, right? I'll click here. I'll set it to 67. I can increase this size here, look, but I'll leave it at 0 for you to see. And now comes the secret. See how it's quite rough like this? Actually, no. If you zoom out here, look. It's set. It passes just fine. What are we going to do? We are going to create one more layer. Come here to the brush. Then we'll lower this to about 50. And we'll increase this brush a little bit more. And come here with a green color. I'll pick this green here, look. And I'll come just over where I want. Look. Where I applied my outline, right? Then here, look, in the blending mode, I'll set it to linear dodge. Since it was overflowing, I don't want all that overflow out of. I can either decrease the fill, or I can come with the eraser itself here. I'll increase it a little bit more here. I'll lower the opacity and the flow. And I'll just remove a little bit here. I think it's still quite heavy, look. I'll lower the opacity, I'll put it at about 26%. And just come removing the excess here. Look, so we don't have it too marked. Remove the excess. It didn't turn out too harsh. I've already added the light I wanted there. Remove this excess here, that excess there. And now I'll create those two wonderful little light spots. I create another layer, come here to the brush, set the brush to white, increase it to about this size here. That's great. Opacity 50, okay? Normal here. I click here for a light effect here. Another light effect here. That's great. If I want to add one here too, look. Wonderful. Turned out good. Turned out amazing. What he has here in his thumbnail that's different in this case is that he just darkened it a little bit where the emoji is, look. And we already know how to do this too, but we'll do it by creating a new layer. Come here to the gradient tool. I'll use a normal horizontal gradient here. Click down here and drag it up. It's too high. It's okay here, right? Let's work here with a mask. I create a mask here. Set it to black. Everything I want to see, I'll leave white. So I increase my brush size here. And here we just want to darken this bottom part here. That's great. He gave the emojis. A little shadow here, look. Let's add it too. Just a little shadow. I want to add the stroke now. I'll add the stroke. Just a little shadow here. Actually, his shadow wasn't a hard shadow, so he reduces the spread a little and increases its size. It becomes a slightly softer shadow. And that's it, guys. He made his loud thumbnail. Look how cool our loud thumbnail turned out. It's not that different from the original. It doesn't fall far behind the original. If we take it here, look. Guys, what is this dot here? I don't know, there's a dot there. There's a little dot there. It's gone. Here's the loud thumbnail for your TikTok. For TikTok, it's yours. Maybe the colors are a little different. Maybe his background here is a little different, but if you were making a new loud thumbnail that showed this same character doing what he always does, it would definitely pass as one of Loud's thumbnails. And then you can give that special touch to the thumbnail. I'll click on everything again. I'll hit the famous Control E. I'll convert it to a smart object and only then apply these filters, because if I happen to mess up my image here, this texture, I'll set lower, I'll set it to 30, and the clarity, I'll set to 30 as well. And now I'll apply my noise. Yes. That turned out great, right? Look at that, the original from the Loud crew, and our thumbnail created here in our amazing class, showing how to make a loud thumbnail. Did you like this video? Leave in the comments what you thought, if you learned various techniques or not, what techniques you use in the thumbnails you create, and content suggestions for this channel too. I'll be back in the next video bringing another incredible tutorial for you. See you next time.